Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be making some 3D lilies. So I've already made 3 and this is what they look like. You've got really nice 3D dimension and this is all using vellum. So I'm going to pop those 3 to one side and I'm going to show you how I made these. But first I'm going to tell you what I've got. I've got some stamens. I'm going to be using the Kitsch Flamingo Distress Oxide and I've got my brush. You are going to need a couple of ball tools. So one with a large head and then preferably one with a smaller head. I've got a pokey tool. And the die set that I'm going to be using is from Tattered lace, and this is called the Decoupage Edge Lily. Now within this little packet you get these 3 dies. So this first one is an edge die and this is actually the lily dies. Now on the front of this packet it says you get 5 dies, but we've only got 3. Because this one has the 3 dies within the one piece of metal. And also they say that you should have A3, A2, A1 and A. When I look at my dies, mine say C1, C2, C3 and C4. So I don't know what the A stands for, but at least we've got the dies that we should have. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to colour this piece of vellum and make it this pretty quiche flamingo colour. Now there's 2 ways of doing this. You can either take your brush and circular movements onto your vellum, or you can take your pad and you can smoosh this all over. Go a couple of different ways, and then before that has chance to dry I like to take in a piece kitchen roll. I'm just going to take a piece of card to hold that down, and if you rub the kitchen roll all over the vellum, not only does this spread the ink, it helps to dry it off a bit quicker. Just get that really spread over quite nicely. Just going to turn that around and do this end. Pop a piece of cardstock where you're going to put your fingers. You won't get finger marks. And there we go. Now we do need this piece of vellum to dry thoroughly. But what you will find by rubbing your paper towel over, that you get this really pretty soft effect when you turn the vellum over. I've got another piece prepared already and this one is completely dry. So I'm going to take in my die cutting plate. I'm going to lay my dies down onto the base of my plate. I'm going to pop my vellum over the top. I am going to put a piece of, or a couple of pieces of scrap card over the top as an extra shim, and my top plates, and I'm just going to run this through my die cutting machine. So if we remove those, taking in your pokey tool. So that one is C1 and then this one is C2 and we've got C3 and C4. So pop them to one side. You just need to take that grey off the back of there. Oh, and there's that one. Okay, now what I like to do with any of my florals is shape them. So I'm going to take in my flower forming pad, and with the A1 or C1 in my case, I'm going to turn this over so that the wrong side is facing up. I'm going to take in the biggest ball tool that I have, and I'm just going to run that around in circles all the way over the floral. And when I turn this over, you can now see that this has created a cup shape. So that's the first one done. So for the second one, I'm going to put my finger in the center of the floral. I'm going to take in my pokey tool and I'm just going to curve this towards me. And this one, the right side facing up. So that's the second petal. And I'm going to curve this one towards me. And I'm going to do exactly the same with this really tiny one. I'm just going to give that a bit of a curve towards me. So that's the florals shaped. So I'm going to pop this down this way up. Now with this one, I want this to go in the opposite direction. Now you can use whatever medium you want to stick these together. You can use your heat gun, you can use a tacky glue. I'm going to be using the glue gel. So I'm going to take some glue gel on my pokey tool. I'm going to place them on the back. And I'm going to place this down where I want that to go. Now I really should be using my tweezers for this, but I really do not get on with tweezers, but we will have a go. So taking some more glue gel and our next petal, and on the thinner end and I'm just going to pop this on the top like so. And then again we want a tiny little bit of glue gel. And if we place a tiny bit there, we can bring this, turn this around, and we can, whoops, see what I mean? I don't get on with tweezers. And we can pop this one round about there. That's a lily shape. I'm going to take in some stamens. I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm going to have one slightly longer than the other. And I'm just going to chop the end of that off. And all I'm going to do with this, if I take in my tweezers again, let's try it this way. So I'm going to take my first stamen and just pop a tiny bit of glue gel on the end of there. And if I take in my poke tool as well, and just place that one down. And then if I take in the smaller stamen, pop a tiny bit of glue gel on the end there, and we'll try and get that one lined up with the first one. And another lily done. So that's 4. I will do another one and see if I can make it look a little bit easier. So this is our C1 and this is the flower. I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to give that a nice press down, rotate that ball tool and turn that into a cup shape. I'm going to keep that facing upwards. I'm going to take in the number C2. So this would be the floral, and this would maybe be a bit of floral, and this is a leaf. I'm going to take in my pokey tool, I'm going to hold the center, and I'm going to curve those on the right side towards me. That's that one. C3, I'm going to hold right at the bottom, and I'm just going to curve that one towards me. And then C4, I'm going to hold right at the very bottom and just give that a bit of a shape. I'm going to take in my glue gel. I'm going to pop some on the back of C2, and this leaf is facing up, so I want this leaf facing down. Just going to give that a tiny press, not too much, just enough for that glue gel to grab. And I'm going to pop a tiny piece on the back of that one. Can you see how I work much better without using tweezers? I just find tweezers alien. And then before I put the C4 down, this time I'm going to do the stamens. So one slightly longer than the other. Trim away that excess. I will use the tweezers to hold this. I'm gonna just pop a tiny bit of glue gel. Decide which way you want your stamens to come down. I think we'll have them this way. There you go, pop down the first one. Bit of glue gel on this one. Pop down the next one. And then with the C4, pop a tiny bit of glue gel on the bottom of that one, just enough for that to stick, and just pop that over the top. And there's another lily. So at the moment I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's all I need for the card that I'm going to be making. And I want to make this just a regular A4 piece of card. Fold it in half. Give that a really nice burnish. My first matte layer, I've chosen this beautiful double-sided green colour, and I'm going to be using the darker colour. I'm going to take in my paper trimmer, so 5.5 by 7 3/4. So that's that one. This should fit quite nicely on my card base and give me quite a nice border all the way around. And then I've chosen this really pretty patterned paper, and I'm going to cut this down to 5 1/4. 3/4. I think I need it to be 7.5. Let's try that at 7.5. Yeah, that's better. And I think that's all I'm going to need for the paper trimmer. Now, if you've watched my videos in the past, you'll know that I absolutely hate seeing the white core on my cards. So I'm going to take in a green alcohol marker, and I'm just going to run that all around the edge. There we go. This one is going to be glued straight down, and give that a nice glue all around the edges. A little bit in the middle. So get this nicely lined up. And give that a nice press down. And before we do any more to this, I'm going to take in a stamp by Chloe's Creative Cards, and this is a really pretty bouquet stamp, and it is actually quite a large stamp. Taking my stamping platform, pop my card down, and I'm going to place the bouquet. I'm just trying to think where I want to put a sentiment, so I'm going to go roughly there. So I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to use the VersaFine Spruce. So this is the VersaFine Clair ink. Give that stamp a really nice ink up, and then we can bring this across and stamp that down. We've got our bouquet stem. I'm just going to give that stamp a clean off. There we go, and we're going to pop that stamp back where it belongs. We can now pop that to one side. So we've got the start of our bouquet going on. So I've taken in the deep green number 52 from the Creative Craft alcohol pens, and I'm just going to colour in between. There we go, so that's that done. And then what I'm going to do is take in my first lily, and I am going to use glue gel for this, and I'm going to decide exactly how I want that one, and I'm just going to place that one there. I'm going to pop this one going this way, and then again with the next one, and just going to give that a tiny press down so that the glue gel is catching there, and that one. I think I'm going to go higher, so I'm going to tuck those under. I'm just going to give that one a tiny press down, and then the last one we're going to go underneath this one, and we're going to give that, you can feel when the glue gel is grabbed. So there's our floral bouquet, our lilies, and left over from a previous project, vellum foliage. So we could have one there, and maybe a small one coming this way, and then we've got another one. I'm going to pop some glue gel on the back of that one, and I am going to tuck this right underneath this floral like so. So this one goes in the opposite direction. This one's going to go under this floral. So there's two. Glue gel's lovely for this, but it does take quite a while to dry. Just going to lift that up, pop that under, little press down. So that's where we are at the moment with our bouquet of vellum florals. What I'd like to do now is take in the bow from Chloe's Creative Cards, and within this one you get two bows, so you get two different sizes. Yeah, so we're going to use the smaller bow. In your vellum, so taking in your plates, this one down on my plates, and while I've got this out, this tag, this again is by Chloe's Creative Cards, and this is called the Tiny Tag and Sentiment Plaque, and it is absolutely stunning. You've got your tag, which comes in two pieces, and then you've got this really dinky tag. So I'm going to cut the tag. I am going to cut smallest one of these plaques out of the pink, and I thought I would cut the, if I pop this down here, oh, the bigger one, sorry, out of the green. So I'm going to load up my plates and I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine. Release this really pretty bow. So we've got that one. We've got our top of our plaque and we've got our really tiny tag. Got those cut out and this one cut out beautifully as well. So I'm just going to pop all those dies to one side. So if I take back in the topper of my card, I can see that this bow is going to sit really nicely there. I am going to pop this down with glue. So that's our floral bow. So I'm going to stamp onto this vellum and then I'm going to show you how we're going to adhere that to the green. So also within this Tiny Tags and Sentiments plaque, you get these sentiments. A birthday bouquet just for you. I think that's quite a nice sentiment. Place down our stamp. VersaFine Onyx Black. I'm going to give that stamp a really nice stamp up. I take in my plaque and I'm just going to stamp that down and hold that for a second or two. And then we've got this, a birthday bouquet just for you, and that looks absolutely stunning. And then for our tiny tag, do with love. Pop that on there. I'm going to stamp that one up. And this is going to go this way. So I'm just going to stamp with love in the middle. And there we go. And give that stamp a nice clean up. And definitely pop that one back where it belongs. And this one is going to go, and I'm just going to pop that down with a bit of glue. And I'm going to have this on an angle like so. Yeah, that's okay to work with. So to adhere this to the green, you need to pop a tiny bit of glue down on your glass mat. Take in your makeup sponge, dab this on the makeup sponge, dab off onto your cardstock, and then just dab over your vellum. You won't see the glue through. I'm going to pop that onto our tag. Give that a really, turn that over and give that a really nice press down. And then you've got your vellum adhered to your plaque. And I'm just going to glue this one down. Just going to lift up that bow. And pop this one on an angle. Get some glue all the way around the edge. And I'm going to line this up as best I can. Give that a nice press down all around the edges. And there we go. We've got a really pretty birthday bouquet using vellum. Hope you enjoyed my little video. Hope you've learned something. Thank you for watching. And until the next time. Bye for now.